All right. Welcome to Thursday Night Facebook Card Class with Christy Hillock. I am CJ Card Creations, and I'm located in Salt Lake City, Utah. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I am so glad that you're here with me, whether you're catching me live or if you are a replay warrior. I really appreciate you, and I hope that you enjoy this and that you will make your own version. So before we get started, while I'm letting a few of you find me, just some kind of overall information. If you want the measurements and the instructions for this project tonight, make sure that you click the link. I'll put all the links in the description of this after the video is done. But make sure you click the link to join my email list. That's where you'll get all of the dimensions and instructions, and then also all of the news about my classes and any promotions that Stampin' Up! Is doing. So the next thing is that I actually am doing each month where whatever make, you will get those kits if you want them. So you just have to place a $35 order sometime during the month in my online store and use the host code. So that host code will be in the description as well. And tonight is week 2. So you can go back and catch last week's. And then I think next week, this month's kind of weird, but I'll have one more night and then I'll have all 3 kits to send to you. So then I have Christmas classes coming up. My first one is closed, but my second one is October 8th, and deadline is it will through my head. But Stampus, you'll get profit to. I also have an in-person class Monday night, September 19th, and that's just my regular monthly class. And I have my class to go, and I'm going to show you that here in just a minute. So I'll come back to that one. And then, let's see, I have just the paper pumpkin kit. So today is the 8th. So if you haven't already subscribed, you've got 2 more days to subscribe to the Spooky Treats Paper Pumpkin Kit. So it will make 18 treat boxes. It's got 3 different designs, and you get an ink, an exclusive stamp set, and with your first paper pumpkin, you also get an acrylic block to hold the stamps. So I think that this one is going to be really fun. They always do a really good job with the Halloween kit. So that is that. Set my notes out of the way, and I'm going to switch cameras here, and we will look at that class to go. So my September class to go uses the Hello Harvest stamp set and the Rustic Pumpkins dies, and it is just so fun. So this set, or this class, is designed to make a gift for someone. So you will, this is the tag for the box, and then this is the cute little box that you'll make, and then pull out 6 different cards, and each one has a coordinating envelope. And the class to go includes all of the supplies, pre-cut cardstock, and PDF with color pictures, so everything you need except for the stamps and dies and ink. So this one I actually used a couple of sets of blends instead of all ink pads, so get a little bit of coloring in there, which is always nice. And then once you've had your fun making the projects, you can give these as a gift for someone's birthday or pick me up or whatever you need. So there will be a link to subscribe to that. And then I wanted to congratulate Pat. Thank you for sharing last week. Every week, if you share this video and then comment shared in the description, then I enter you in the drawing to get the card that we make. So this will be going out to Pat tomorrow. Thanks again for sharing. And then just as, hey Mom, thanks for being here. So just as a refresher, we focused on background stamps last week. And so these are the 3 cards that I made using essentially the same layout and the same stamp, but different ways of using it. So you can go back and check that out if you haven't already. And then tonight, what I wanted to do, and this is actually one of my absolute favorite things to do, we are going to make our own DSP for our background. So I've got a few samples to show you. So as you know, I always try to hit 3 very different looks with the same layout and technique. Thank you for sharing. And so I did Halloween because I just think that this Bewitched or Bewitching set is adorable and the witch hat punch is super fun. And then Everybody Loves Flowers. Hey, Joe, good to see you. And then I need Christmas cards, so I figured we would make a Christmas card. So we are going to use the Penguin Place stamp set, which this was actually in last year's holiday catalog, and they brought it back, which was awesome. It's just a little playful, a lot of fun, so I think that it makes a nice card here. So I'm just going to grab some blocks and bring out all of my supplies here. So the color scheme for this card is Shaded Spruce and Pool Party and Polished Pink, which definitely not colors that you think of when you're thinking Christmas, but I think that it works really well. And this stamp set is really nice because, oh geez, let me knock everything all around. You can very easily go from Christmas or holiday season to happy birthday or lots of thanks. So it's a great multi-purpose stamp set. All right, so what I want to do, I like for this technique to start with the biggest stamp first. Now for this particular set of stamps, the tree and the package are pretty close in size, so we'll just do the tree first. And get my Shaded Spruce ink here. I don't know what it is, but all of a sudden it seems like all of my ink pads need re-inking. So I've been kind of doing those as I go. So there's really no rhyme or reason to where I place the first round of stamps. I want to make sure that I rotate them every time so that they don't get really uniform. And then I also stamp off the sides so that it looks like the pattern continues off the paper. And then we just keep going until it seems like we've kind of got some good coverage. So that is 7 stamps. Could probably add just one more right there. So we'll call that good on our trees, and if we need to come back, we can. And I am going to clean this stamp because this little bitty block is just the nicest for this kind or this size of stamp. When you use a block that's too large for the stamp that you're using, you end up getting the corners of the block in your ink, and it's just messy. And so, all right, so now I'm going to bring in my polished pink with my cute little gift box. And the thing that's really nice about photopolymer stamps is that you can see if you did a good job of inking them or not. And so you can just make sure that you don't have any issues as far as that's concerned. And I think that looks pretty good. Might do just one more, just like that. So as you can see, this is a really quick way of making any stamp set and any color combination work for the project that you have in mind. And then our last stamp is just some snowflakes. So any of the texture kind of stamps like snowflakes or dots or just littler things like this are nice for filling in white space, so that you know, if you missed a spot or didn't like how things kind of fell out, you just fill it in. And again, I'm continuing to stamp off and to rotate my stamp just to make sure that it's as visually appealing as possible. And I think we're going to call that good. So I'll set that aside, and then I'm just going to bring in my card liner here and do some snowflakes across the top of it, because it's always fun to carry your design through to the inside of your card as well. And sometimes I'll use just a strip of designer series paper, sometimes it's stamping, every once in a while it's a die cut, and sometimes just a sentiment. So there is that. And I think we are just about ready to do our cute little penguin. So this penguin has a coordinating penguin builder punch. Sorry, it's totally lost the word there for a second. And so punches are so nice because you don't have to have the Big Shot or the Stamp and Cut and Emboss, the big machine. And they're quick and easy to use. So it's a fun way of getting images cut out. So I do need my Memento ink pad for this. Oh, hey, hi Jane, hi Pat. Thank you for being here. All right. So just going to stamp that cute little guy. And one thing that I think is really fun about this penguin is that you can change up what goes on him depending on what look you want. So we are going to give him a little beak, and in the interest of time, if I can manage it, we're going to do his feet and his nose or beak at the same time. So tuck that on there, and then I'll pick them up with my block, and I'm going to bring in my pumpkin pie ink pad. And this is not a color that I would normally add to this project, but because penguins don't have pink beaks, I figured we could get away with it. So there's that. And the last thing that we need is his little scarf. And that we will bring our polished paint back in. And so we'll punch out our penguin, but our scarf, we are going to just fussy cut, and this one is really easy. It's all straight lines. So just kind of come down here by the corner. Oh, and you know what? We need a sentiment on here somewhere. So we'll come back to that. But let's go ahead and grab our little penguin. Okay, so you can see if you wanted to not stamp your penguin, you would punch out black here and then white here to be the inside of him. And then you can punch out his little feet too. So, all right. Now we need some little paper snips. So I can hear my crazy dog upstairs just barking away because she gets really mad when I come downstairs and leave her up there. But, you know, she's so old, she just really doesn't need to be on the stairs. So I try not to let her. Fortunately, we still have the baby gate from when Emily was littler. So that helps. But she does just stand up there and bark. So all right. So we've got all of that ready. And now what I did, I kind of glued this on and then I trimmed off the corners just to make it look like it was wrapping around his neck a little better. I mean, poor Tassie, but seriously, like that dog lives such a spoiled life. A friend was over today and said something about how she was not on the furniture for once, which I thought was kind of funny because she definitely thinks that she belongs in the furniture. All right, so we will grab that Season's Greetings again, because like I said, my biggest thing right now is trying to make sure that I have enough Christmas cards to get through the season. And if I wait until it feels like Christmas, there's not a chance. So figure we can make 1 or 2 a week and we will get there. And the paper pumpkin kits for Christmas are always really nice too, and that helps a ton. So, all right, so then the next thing that I was going to show you with this is, can't remember what it's called, snowflake vellum, I think, specialty vellum. And it's got some sheets that are kind of metallic and some that are flocked. And they are so fun. And I just haven't even really looked at them until this week when I wanted some snow. So I think it works perfectly for this project. So I am just going to line this up, hopefully. Get the little string hole lined up and then make sure they're straight. And bring in some of this, it's not twine, it's Simply Elegant trim, I think is what they call it. And it is a little bit stiffer than the twine. And so it's a little bit less forgiving, but I really liked the look for this. So what I like to do is double it up and then feed the halfway point through to the back, and then I just run the 2 front strings through that loop. And that gives me a really nice little knot looking thing. So now that we've got that, I think the glue on this guy is dry. So I'm just going to flip him over to the back side and trim out that scarf. And he will be, or she, I don't know. I guess it could be either. I'm ready to go. So we can adhere all of our pieces together now. And And I would like to thank Jane, I saw you on here earlier, for helping me decide which of my 3 samples to make tonight, because they're all fun and I would have been delighted to do any of them for you, but she thought penguins would be good. And I agree. So I'm just going to burnish this, make sure it lies a little flatter there. And then I'm just using my seal tonight. There's not really a specific reason, you know, just kind of do whatever suits me in the moment. There are definitely some times when one or the other is a much better choice for, you know, what I'm working on. But for this, it's 6s. So I am just taking this little strip of Pool Party and do that. And we want some dimensionals to pop this little guy up. And I just really liked the look of these tailor-made tag dies for this. And I think they add a lot to projects and give you a little bit of a smaller kind of area to work in when you're working with something small like the penguin. So now we've got that on there, and I am actually going to bring in my Seal Plus to do the penguin because that vellum has so much texture to it that I want to make sure we get a really good seal, if you will. There we go. All right, and then I just set my little penguin at an angle to my tags, and that is it. So bring these back in, and you can see they look different, but not terribly so. And then the other 2 samples. And as usual, I will post pictures of all of these in a day or 2. And if you would like the instructions, make sure that you sign up for my emails. They come out every Monday, in theory. Generally, I'm pretty on time with that. So I hope that you enjoyed this project. I am so grateful that you were here with me tonight, and I hope that you will make your own version of this and post it over in my CJ Card Stampers group. So you all have a wonderful evening, and I will thank you. I will talk to you soon. Bye.